From haunted houses to cursed artifacts, from whispers in the dark to battles you'll never read in scripture. This is the Unholy Podcast, hosted by Doug Owen, author, investigator, and survivor of one of the most harrowing real-life hauntings ever documented. Each week, Doug pulls back the veil between this world and the next, sharing stories that aren't fiction, because he lived them. Prepare yourself. The silence is over.
Well, welcome everybody to the Unholy Podcast. I'm your host, author, and paranormal investigator Doug Owen. This week we have a very special guest. We have horror queen and contestant for the Face of Halloween for 2025, Dawn Adams. So welcome, Dawn. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us here.
Absolutely.
So I'm just going to ask you some questions here and just kind of get the lay of the land here. But you guys, everybody knows that Dawn Adams is a contestant on the Face of Halloween this year. So she does an amazing job as a face painter. You guys should check it out. So go ahead and vote for Dawn Adams when you guys go out there to the website, or you can find all of those links on my website, which is authordougowen.com. There's links to her page and her voting site as well. So Dawn, tell me, we've been friends for, I would say, 30 years? I mean, it's longer than that. It's been, since 1989. I mean, if we really want to date it. So we've been friends for a long time, and in the past, pertaining to the supernatural here, you have been to my home that was actually haunted.
Yeah.
So you've experienced it. People have seen pictures of you in my book. You're in my book. We talk about it, and we see you dancing with the spirits.
One of my favorite pictures.
Dancing with the spirits. It's a great one, and it was absolutely found to be a Class 4 ectoplasmic entity, according to the Idaho Ghost Hunters. So
yeah, that kind of tripped me out when I found out about that.
It's very scary.
It explained a lot of things after, It explained a lot of things that I ended up seeing and feeling later in life, and it was probably one of the first times that actually opened my eyes to paranormal stuff, to where I could actually see what's happening around me, and I just wasn't just dismissing things like I used to. Mm-hmm. So knowing that was an actual thing, and that picture, I didn't think anything of it. I thought, well, maybe it was like somebody smoking or an incense or something, and then when we found out, we realized nobody was smoking inside in your basement. Right. That just didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. And, they took the camera and the entire SD card for a week and examined it and came back and brought me some pretty chilling audio from some entities there as well. But what a bizarre time. And like I always say, if I didn't have witnesses, I don't think I would think it actually happened. Well, I don't. Sometimes I think, did that really happen? Yeah. What? Whoa! Because it became a point where people are like, oh, weren't you scared? I kind of was just more annoyed when this shit would happen. Yeah. It's like, how dare you interrupt my routine? Well,
the weirdest part to me was finding out 30 years later that I was dancing with a ghost, and to actually have you send that picture to me on Instant Messenger. Yeah. And then to see that and say, by the way, I haven't talked to you in 20 years, but guess what this is?
Yeah. And it was we going back through all these pictures, and we're finding different creatures and things lurking at my daughter, obviously is one of the big things that happened. That was the climax of my book, the Unholy Science. I don't want to give anything away, but with her incident that happened there, that's when I decided to walk off the battlefield. And it was one of those things like, fuck it, you got me. Not going to do it. Not doing it.
Well, when I read that part of the book, I was like, no way. I didn't even know that had happened.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was...
And before I wrote it, I double-checked with Josie Miller, the gal who was actually there at the house when I first had met her. Mm-hmm. And I double-checked with her from my memoirs. I had written this all down. And... oddly enough, I started writing it down when you guys were at China Blue back in the day. You guys went there that night.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? And I couldn't write it because as you guys left, I was getting phone calls where I would answer the phone calls from my then wife, but on the other end was static and unholy screeching. It was I didn't even put that in the book, but every time I would try to write, the door would creak, or I'd feel a cold chill, or I'd see my breath for a second. And so I stopped writing it, but I did write down that incident and the memoir. So I asked Josie, is this as you remember it? And she said, absolutely, that's exactly what happened. So terrifying as it is, there are witnesses to what happened.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. But so let me ask you questions here. So first question is, what inspired you to become involved in the horror genre, both as an artist and as a horror personality? I consider you a horror personality.
I've always, kind of loved horror movies, and Halloween's always been my favorite time of year. I dressed up every single year. Because you can be any character that you want to be, if only for a night. Your alter egos can come out for a night. You can just be whoever you want to be, just for that period of time. Take all the crazy pictures, do the crazy makeup, be the scary ghoul, and have this weird personality. So I kind of try to do that when I make my TikToks and stuff with my face paints. I try to become those crazy, weird things.
I see. Okay.
And, people know me as like this kind of like sweet little Mickey Mouse voice chick, and then I put on some fangs and some blood on my face. Just turn into something totally weird with some red eyes and get it done. But,
it's pretty amazing. Your skills are absolutely above par. They're absolutely fantastic. But can you share a little bit about your background? How did you get started with horror art specifically?
It's kind of funny because I started just watching like basic makeup videos. I wanted to get in. I wanted to try to do something different with my face. I was getting older. I was in my early my 40s, and I was like, I gotta figure out something to do with my makeup. I was using the little 4-packs that come in they come with a little sponge applicator for your eyeshadow. And I was looking on the back and saying, oh, number 1, number 2, number 3, and I was putting that on just like how it said in the grocery store to do it. And I was like, no, I gotta do something different. So I started running into a couple of people that were doing really cool makeup, and they had brushes with bristles for eyeshadow. So I learned everything starting in 2019, and after a lot of practice watching people and practicing in the mirror, I was like, these girls are making a ton of money selling this makeup. So I was like, I've learned how to do a couple cool things with eyeshadows. I know what contour is now. Right. Why don't I just push the live button and start selling some makeup? So I thought I'd try that, and I never went viral with it. I never had a huge following with it, and so it's like, well, that's a bust. But it's fun, and I met a lot of people online and started talking to people in New Zealand and Canada, and I had like 20-30 people that would come and watch me regular. All over the world. And then fans. I was like, so I asked them, I was like, it would be really cool. It's almost Halloween. Do you guys think I should get some face paints and maybe try to do a few things on here? I literally would have 10 or 15 people watching me at a time. Yeah. Later, 1,000 views or something. But I just decided to buy a set of paints. And I watched this one girl. Her name was Kayla the Makeup Mistress. Okay. And I watched her do like these Halloween and horror looks, and I would watch the steps she did, and she was even nervous, and she'd have 300 people watching her, and she's like, man, this isn't going to turn out, it's not going to turn out. And so just watching her think that she's failing on her own, and then I would sit there and say, no, keep going, and every time she thought it was going to turn out like crap, and by the time she got to the very end, 3 hours I'd invest in this. Wow. Sometimes she'd take a break in the middle to go to the bathroom and stuff. Right. But at the end, it always came together. And I was like, if she's nervous and she's got all these people and I got 15 people, I just need to get on there and try it. And just say, hey man, I've never done this before. I'm just going to try it and see how it goes. And so that's what I did. So I did my very first face paint in 2019. Yeah. And that was the first time I ever used face paint or any of those paint brushes. And it was a Mayron paint palette, and I still have it. Nice. And I use it still. I haven't even used it all up. It's good paint.
Yeah.
Bill Mayron, you know. But that's kind of how I got into it. Was just watching other people.
What was
do
the
that.
first?
It was
character?
the skull. It was the white.
The
very
skull.
first
Okay.
one was the white skull with the shading for the cheekbones.
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to pose my face to make it look good at the time. Like, I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
So that was my very first one.
Amazing.
My very first try.
It turned out amazing.
And it took a while. And I had no idea I was going to be sitting there for 2 hours, but we did it.
That's amazing. So, what do you think sets your work apart from other horror artists? What would you say?
I think for me, it's mostly like the attention to detail. I can't do something without trying to make it look perfect. It could be my OCD. I might set it apart a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
And I like to I do my research. I go online and I'll just fish through Halloween looks on Instagram or something and say, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. I like the mouth on that one, but I like the eyes on that one. And I didn't know you could do that with your chin. And, you know, illusion art is kind of my favorite thing. So I had to learn how to do that, but I like to take things from different inspiration picks and kind of look back and forth and say, I kind of like the mouth on that, I kind of like the eyes on that, and just kind of put together a whole new character, different colors. And in the beginning, I would just like select one that I liked, and I would say, I'm gonna try to do this, and I found this artist, this is their page on Instagram, I'm gonna try to recreate it. And
Nice.
That's where I started.
Nice.
So but as far as what sets me apart is just taking different things and putting it all together and creating new characters. This is what I try to do.
So, how would you describe your artistic style? And second question to that follow-up would be, what are your main influences?
Right. Well, I would say my style is kind of all over the place. I do 2D, I do 3D, I do illusion art. Sometimes, you know, the shading and the blending is where it's all out. Sometimes it's not always horror. Sometimes it's, you know, florals and Christmas stuff. And I even did a Thanksgiving one before. I put a big old maple leaf on my forehead.
Nice.
Made it look pretty.
Nice.
But my style, I can't even tell you I have one because I've tried all of them. I think I'm a little bit more drawn to realistic illusion art, though. I like to change my whole face. I like to take a cute face and make it a horror face.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Halloween's my favorite.
Yeah.
All these cutesy little ones, they're great. But as far as that goes, I'd rather turn into a ghoul.
Nice.
You know, and be something scary with a Mickey Mouse voice instead of something cutesy with a Mickey Mouse voice. But you know, my main influence, I would have to say, was Kayla the Makeup Mistress, and she's not even on there anymore. She hasn't been on there for maybe 5 years. She just went dark. She's
Really?
like, I've had enough.
Wow.
She had another baby and just kind of left, but
Okay.
that would be who influenced me to start. And I have to say, one of my other main influences, and some of the reasons I can pull off some of those, you know, no eyebrow looks.
Right.
I watched a drag queen. His name was Pollo Del Mar,
Okay.
Chicken of the Sea, aka Tuna.
Okay.
But he was hilarious, and I would watch him do his makeup and watch him block his brows. I was just so enamored and excited when he would have a live, because I could watch him go from this handsome man
Yeah.
to this amazing drag queen, and all the while it's like a comedy show. He was hilarious.
Nice.
Now he's still, Pollo Del Mar is still out there doing things. He's doing wrestling now,
Really?
like as a drag queen.
Nice.
He's made something of himself. So he was a huge influence too. He made me have guts to get out there and do stuff like that.
That's incredible.
He taught me how to deal with trolls. You know?
Really?
Yeah. He taught me how to deal with trolls. He's like, don't even bother those guys.
Do you get many trolls?
When I first started the trolls were the thing. Like when you went on a live video and somebody would say like, "Do you have a couch for sale?" Remember those?
Right.
So when the trolls came, it was at first it would kind of get to me because I'd never pushed the live button before 2019.
Right.
I'd never gone on film with no makeup.
Right.
You're just throwing yourself out there, and then you get these people sometimes. Depends on where your video is shared, whether you get trolls or not. And so when the trolls come in, you've got people in your live that'll stick up for you and stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
But when it comes to it, it's like, nah, don't even worry about them. They're having a way worse day than you are. If they have to come on here and trying to make somebody else feel bad that they don't even know, they're having a way worse day than you are. Which ended up being like my sign-off for a long time. So
nice.
How does it go? I can't even think about how it goes. I always say at the end of every video, be sure to tell somebody you love them today. Be sure to give a hug to somebody who needs a hug today. Right. And by all means, if you run into a Facebook hater, embrace that hater. They're having a way worse day than you are.
Right.
So if I said that at the end of every live, so
nice.
that was something.
I like that.
I learned from Pollo Del Mar.
That's amazing. That is an amazing mantra. I will remember that going forward. That is very memorable.
Right.
So, what does being considered the phase of Halloween mean to you, and how would it feel to have that title?
Well, honestly, I have just wanted to be kind of noticed. Like, when's my breakout gonna happen? Right. When am I gonna get my chance to show my art to the world?
Right.
Because I've never broke out. I've never gone viral. I've never had, a ton of followers. And part of it is because I won't buy followers.
Right.
And I won't give Facebook a dime.
Right.
If people want to follow me, then follow me. But if I was the face of Halloween, that would kind of be like my break. It would be super fun to have just a magazine with your pictures in it to be published,
Yeah.
That is kind of the funnest part. However, the face of Halloween is a contest, and it is for charity.
Right.
So it is all in good fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the further you get in the competition, the more somebody might notice you. Maybe somebody's going to see my work or see my page and then say, hey, we've got a little movie coming up here, a couple of ghosties up there in Sun Valley or something. We're going to do a movie.
Sure.
You want to come on set and maybe do some makeup for us this summer?
There you go.
Yeah, I totally would.
Absolutely.
So it would mean that I could break out. That's what it's about for me. But the Starlight Foundation is really cool, and this is for, to benefit children.
Absolutely.
And the title of Face of Halloween is great. The recognition is great, but it's all in good fun. If I don't get, noticed or go viral or anything, that's not the whole point of it. I'm just trying to have some fun with this.
Sure.
It's my very first contest, so
no, absolutely.
We're figuring out how it works, but having the title would be great. Being in a magazine would be great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of your favorite pieces. What's some of those memorable ones? I know my favorites. I know other people have favorites, but what is your favorites?
So my favorites are usually never everybody else's favorites. Like the ones that I hate, people are like, "That's amazing,
right?
It's fucking rad." And the ones that I love, people are like, meh. But I did think over the years. One of my favorites, and there's a lot of them that I really actually was like, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
The Dark Starry Night one with the trees. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
That ghoul with the big mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That one was one of my favorites because I completely transformed my face. And it looks like there's prosthetics. I actually had somebody say, when did you start using prosthetics? I said, it's just face paint and shading.
Nice.
And so that was cool. That was a cool thing when somebody asked me if I had prosthetics. I was like, man, you could really get this done. There was an alien that I did a few years ago that nobody really reacted to, and I was like, you guys don't realize that's not a mask. Like
right.
My whole face, my eyeballs covered my face, my mouth is on my chin, man.
Yeah,
I completely transformed.
I've seen that one. That is amazing, and yes, it absolutely looks very much like the mask that Spirit Halloween sells. So the talent is just amazing. I mean, you made a 2D face, basically paint, look like a 3D mask. It's amazing. Yeah.
And there's kind of a glam one. It's the Mardi Gras one with the flower and the purple and stuff. It's just like this flower on one side of my face. My hair's in a bun. But the cheetah one, the snow leopard, love that. But my most recent favorites is the candy corn witch that I did last year.
Yes.
I call her the candy corn witch. That one wasn't an original, but I improved on the photo I used as inspiration. I did extra things to it.
Okay.
So that one, the mime face, I really liked the mime. But, as far as those goes, those are some of my favorites. What one's your favorite?
Well, I gotta be honest, I really, really enjoyed the face-off. That one is just... it is amazing. It looks so real, and it looks so legitimate. I mean, it literally looks like you're removing your face.
Wow.
It's just, it's just fantastic. The muscle, the blood, just the shading, just the sheer artistry of it is absolutely fantastic.
The one where it's the zombie face and I took a chunk off of a normal person and put it on there.
Right.
That one. You can see most of these though. They can see them on my Face of Halloween page.
Sure.
If they go in their info. But some of my favorites are the ones that you picked for and helping me with. But those are some of my favorites. I know I missed a few. Like that snow leopard, though, that was so fun.
That's very, very cool.
And the Grinch. The illusion art with the Grinch
The Grinch is pretty amazing. Again, almost looks like a mask. Almost looks like a mask. It's amazing how you do that. So, how do you stay creative and keep your work fresh? And I don't know that it's a competitive genre or there's other people who do it out there. I haven't seen anybody out there who's really doing this that isn't on Face Off or another type of show.
There are, if you go to Instagram, that's where I get a lot of inspiration. I don't follow many artists on there because there's too many to follow. I'd be following thousands of people.
Sure.
So what I usually do is I'll find, maybe I'll be watching a movie and there's a scary ghost thing and I'll kind of take a screenshot with my phone and say, that's kind of cool. I like the jaw on that, because you can create jaw lines and stuff that you want. But I get inspiration and my creativity from things I see and visions that I see, sometimes from my dreams.
Really?
Like the scary pumpkin guys. There's a lot of scary pumpkin guys. But I did have a dream of a headless horseman kind of thing one time.
Okay.
I guess that's not too original. But my pumpkin face, the guy that was chasing me, was way scarier than just a pumpkin face.
Sure.
And so, sometimes it comes from my dreams, and sometimes it literally comes from seeing a lot of images and then just kind of putting something together in my head. So, my issue is that I can't draw on paper.
Okay.
If I could draw on paper, then I'd be able to come up with some really cool stuff. My problem is that I can only draw on my face.
Okay.
And I don't practice any of these before I do it. There's no trial run. It takes too long to do it ahead of time.
Wow.
So when I do these looks, it's one and done. I do my look, I get it done the first time, and then I wipe it off and I go to bed. But I have to make sure I stay up long enough to do photos and videos, and it's done.
So how long on the average does each face take?
In the beginning, I would do one in an hour and a half, but they were a lot less detailed,
right?
And all that good stuff. But now, Some of these I've sat for 3 hours,
Okay.
3.5 hours on a live trying to get it done.
Wow.
Especially the ones where I put like little sparkly crystal things on, and so there are a few on there that it took me 2 hours for the paint and then an hour and a half just to stick all those stupid crystals on my face.
Wow.
And then, that's just the fun part.
Right.
After that, you're like, I gotta go, guys. It's like 10:30 at work today, I'd start at like 6, get home, slam some food, and then push the live button, because you have to do the paint, and you really don't know how long it's going to take. You have an idea.
Right.
But then sometimes it takes a lot longer. So after you get done painting, now you have to take your pictures, take your contacts out so you can see the pictures, and make sure you have enough that are good, and then put your contacts back in, and then do some TikToks.
Nice.
And then take your contacts out and edit your TikToks. You have to post that stuff before you take the makeup off, because if it doesn't post right, or if your pictures get deleted, it's done. All you have is your live, and it's crappy video quality, and you can't really grab good shots with the Facebook Live video. So it can take hours. The cleanup and the photos afterwards and the TikToks can take another couple hours.
Wow.
Sometimes you just got to get in the shower after it's all done, scrape off the crystals, throw them in the garbage, and then get in the shower and just start.
I gotcha. So, okay. All right. That's
It could be anywhere from 2.5 to 6 hours, depending on the look.
That is dedication, and that is dedication. That is crazy. So, well, you've mentioned some of the things here. So, challenges that you faced, when you're doing this, and how do you overcome them?
Challenges, wanting to give up in the middle.
Oh, really?
Seeing that something's not going right, and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm an hour and a half into this, and I hate it.
Wow.
And then trying not to really let everybody know how much you hate it.
Oh, wow.
And just keep going. And thinking to yourself, I have to make something out of this.
Yeah.
Because I already got an hour and a half into it. I have started over more than one time. There's only one look that I didn't actually take photos of. It was because it was like, what was it? It was around St. Patrick's Day. And I wanted to do a clover on my forehead and some squirrely gigs and wiggly doos, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And I could not draw the clover.
Really?
I cannot draw clover. I still cannot draw clovers. Of all things, I cannot draw a clover to save my life.
Interesting.
4-leaf clovers? No. It looked like a broccoli on my forehead.
Okay.
And then I said, well, this didn't work. So then I was like, well, how are we going to make it better? And sometimes I have a beer or two when I'm doing makeup. And at that point, we were just laughing so hard. And some of my people were saying, we're going to nickname this the broccoli incident.
Nice.
And so what do you do to fix them? You throw glitter on it, right? It just made it worse.
Oh my gosh.
Made it worse.
That is funny.
One of my fans actually sent me for Christmas in a box. They found a Christmas ornament that was a broccoli. And they dipped it in glitter. And they sent it to me.
Nice.
The broccoli incident. My old school girls that have watched me since 2019 know about the broccoli incident.
They bring it up as a reference. Hey, remember the broccoli incident?
But that's the worst part, is trying to get through a look that is horrible, or when you get done with a look and you really don't like it, and everybody's like, oh, it looks great, it's fine. It's like, you guys are just being nice, right?
Right.
All of these looks, probably 50% of them, before I got done taking my pictures, I didn't think I was going to post anything.
Okay.
So, the other challenge, though, is to get the photo to look like what you see in front of you. And when you take a picture, there's always something that goes wrong with your phone camera. I literally do everything on an iPhone 12.
It works.
But you can just getting the right lighting and getting the right video and trying to love something you really don't love and just put it out there, and then getting a good response is great. But that's the challenge, is to be too critical.
Have you grown to love some of the things that you originally hated?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Usually I have to wait till the next day to look and see what I did to like it. Because if you're staring at it and you're the artist, you're looking at it and you're saying, man, this is crap. I hate this here and I hate this here and I hate that there and I made a mistake there and that's not equal, that's not symmetric. But then the next day you look at it and say, man, that's pretty damn good. After you have to step away for a minute. The problem is you can't step away when you have to wash your face and go to bed.
Right.
You have to go from start to finish without ever being able to step away and look at your art until, you know, the next day, and then see what you created, and then you like it. So that's one of the biggest challenges, is loving it and then posting it before you wash it off.
Nice. Sometimes you jump in the shower, scrub it off, and call it good.
Yeah.
That's great, head to toe. So, what advice you have for aspiring artists who want to do this? Women, men, whoever want to get involved in this type of genre and this activity. What's the number one advice you'd give to them?
You have to just jump in. You have to go for it. You know, I never thought in a million years that I would actually just buy a set of paints and then have these brand new paints and brand new paintbrush and then just go for it and hit the live button and just and tell people, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it anyways. You're all on this ride with me, so hopefully we like what happens by the end. But that's the best advice. And to buy some Mehron face paint, Mehron. I use Mehron face paint. It's the Paradise paint palette. It's got like 30 some colors. I still have it, and I got it in 2019.
Nice.
So definitely get yourself some Mehron paint and some decent paint brushes, and just go for it.
Nice.
Do what makes you happy, and just make sure that people know, I don't know what I'm doing. This is my first time, but we're going to give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
Nice. So high quality Mehron paints.
Yep.
A good brush. And the mercy of your fans.
That's right. Exactly.
Perfect.
Let it develop.
Perfect. All right. So what can we expect? We're very excited to see new and interesting things from you. So this year, what can we look forward to?
Well, I'm going to be starting some Halloween looks probably this week. Probably Sunday I'll be doing something. I have a few ideas already in the works, and I'm actually a little nervous because it's been a while since I've picked up a paintbrush. I used to do looks at least 2 to 4 times a month, and and then Willie passed, and he was kind of like my rock and all that good stuff. But depression rears its head in weird places, and I feel like I'm completely healed, except that one part hasn't come back yet, so I'm a little bit nervous. But getting my feet wet again is what's gonna finish healing me, so I'm really looking forward to that. I will be doing probably 5 looks. I'm hoping that I can get more done, but I don't want to pressure myself and say I'm going to do 10 and then just rush myself through it and not like it. But I will be doing Bride of Frankenstein. I know that's on the docket.
Nice.
So, yeah, definitely Bride of Frankenstein and a few others.
Terrific. Well, we're very excited to see this. You are very talented and very, very amazing at this stuff. So,
thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. I want to thank you for coming on to the podcast here today. Thank you so much. And hopefully we can reach out to Mehron Paints and give them a shout out too, and tag them in this. But it's been fantastic talking to you here. We'll catch up some more off the mic. But now I want to thank everybody for attending the Unholy Podcast this week. You guys can catch our latest episode here on Apple Podcasts and wherever podcasts are played. Amazon Music, I know, has it, and iHeartRadio. So remember to vote. Vote for Dawn Adams. Dawngelina 2.0 is the Facebook. That is her profile there, so you can find her there. Find the pictures. The Face of Halloween, you can find that anywhere. and you can vote for your favorite person. Vote for Don Adams, obviously. We have our favorites here. So be generous with your donations. You know, it is a charity going to the Starlight Foundation for children, terminally ill and ill children. So it's for a good cause. Break open your wallet, do your best. But thank you, listeners, for coming again, and take care of yourselves until next time. And remember, the silence is sometimes the most terrifying part.
Don't miss new episodes of the Unholy Podcast with world-renowned author and host Doug Owen. Dare to explore the supernatural world. For episodes and more, visit authorDougOwen.com. That's authorDougOwen.com.